In the oldest part of the city stood a tiny repair shop. Hanging above its weathered wooden door was a faded sign that simply read, "Watches Repaired." The shop belonged to an old watchmaker. His hair was silvered, his back was bent with age, but his eyes held a quiet peace that seemed untouched by time. People often said that he didn't just repair watches, he repaired people's patience. One afternoon, the shop door burst open. A young man stormed inside, frustration written all over his face. He ripped an expensive wristwatch from his arm and slammed it onto the workbench. "Fix it! I bought it only 3 months ago and it's already stopped working. It's worthless." The old man gently picked up the watch. Instead of opening it immediately, he looked calmly at the young man. "My son, are you in a hurry?" The young man sighed impatiently. "Yes, I don't have time to waste." The old watchmaker smiled. "How strange! You came here to save time, yet you threw time itself onto my table in anger." The young man frowned. He didn't understand. The old man carefully opened the back of the watch. Inside, a tiny screw had slipped slightly out of place. With a delicate tool, he adjusted it. He cleaned away a little dust, then he closed the watch. Tick, tick, tick. The watch came back to life. The young man stared in disbelief. "That's it? Just one tiny screw?" The old man nodded. "Yes, most big problems aren't actually big. We simply make them bigger with our anger." The young man fell silent. The old watchmaker looked out through the shop window. People hurried down the street, rushing from one place to another, trying to get ahead of everyone else. Then he spoke softly. "For 50 years I have repaired watches, and I've learned one important lesson. Every watch stops someday, but no wise person throws it against a wall to make it work again. They sit down, they search for the reason." The young man's eyes slowly dropped. Suddenly, he remembered the past few months of his own life. A disagreement with a friend, and he had ended the friendship. A difficult situation at work, and he had quit his job. A misunderstanding at home, and he had stopped speaking to his family for days. Whenever something stopped working, he tried to break it instead of understanding it. After a long silence, he quietly asked, "What if a person stops working on the inside?" The old watchmaker remained silent for a moment. Then a gentle smile appeared on his face. "Then they usually don't need a new heart. They simply need one small screw placed back where it belongs. Sometimes that screw is forgiveness, sometimes it's rest, sometimes it's honesty, and sometimes the comforting words of someone who truly cares." The young man slowly fastened the watch back onto his wrist, but now his eyes were no longer fixed on the watch. They were fixed on the time moving quietly within himself. As he stepped outside, the city looked exactly the same. The streets were still crowded, the noise hadn't changed, the rush of life continued. Yet his footsteps were slower than before. For the very first time, he realized something profound. Life doesn't always break. Sometimes it simply stops for a while. And when something stops, it cannot be repaired with anger. It can only be restored with patience. Moral: most of life's problems are not solved with a hammer. They are solved with delicate tools. Those who respond to every difficulty with anger often never discover the real cause. But those who pause, who search patiently for the reason, can restore not only broken things, but also broken relationships, forgotten dreams, and even their own hearts. Remember, patience repairs what anger only destroys.